This is your radio, Cayman.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola. Available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery. Inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy. Taking care of your health. And JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066. And the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency. Visit energy.gov.ky or follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Wednesday, the 10th day of May 2023, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable, long holiday weekend as well. Some of you were back to work yesterday, some back to work today as well. So we hope and we trust that you enjoyed it. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember that safety trumps everything else. Safety comes first. Getting to your destination on time should not be the primary purpose of you being on the roads and rushing. Safety first. So whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please, please be careful out there. Remember, if you follow the rules of the road, the life you save may just be your own. I know people keep saying to me, we'd like you to repeat it. Some of my cycling buddies say, can you say anything on the radio about it? I said, my opening monologue for almost every show stresses the importance of being careful on our roads, observing the rules of the road, respecting other road users as well. I don't think I can say it any more often than I do, and I will continue to do so as well. So, those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you either a happy birthday or a belated happy birthday, and to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts are proudly brought to you by life insurance agent Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center. Make the right decisions for your family's future today is his advice to you. And also, birthday shoutouts are brought to you by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson building. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing to you as well. those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Again, this morning, it is that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube. You do that by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream, and we are also on Facebook as well. So, remember the birthday shout-outs proudly brought to you by life insurance agent Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center, and also More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your future, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. So what do we have here in birthdays today? Sly Dunbar celebrating a birthday today. Agueda Blake also. Agueda Agata. Oh, that's how it's pronounced, Agata. I still think it's Agueda. Aguata, Spanish. Blake. Recent birthdays also, we have Ian Corbin yesterday, Junior Bloodfire, also yesterday, Tamara Hurlston. So Aguata Blake celebrating a birthday today. Sky Dunbar celebrating a birthday today as well. And of course, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday today, please send us the details and we will give them a big shout out here on For the Record birthday shout outs. Tomorrow, Giuseppe Gatta celebrating his birthday tomorrow. Avid cyclist, as well as his involvement with the Humane Society, I think it is, yeah. Also, Mr. Malcolm Eden celebrating a birthday tomorrow on the 11th of May as well. So we want to wish both Giuseppe and Malcolm happy birthday tomorrow when it comes as well. And again, one more time to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-out is proudly brought to you by life insurance agent Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center, whose advice to you is make the right decision for your family's future today. And also by More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture, tap into your roots. More Than Words, located on the second floor of the Thompson Building. With that, I want to say good morning to my guest with me here again this morning, none other than Dr. Steve McField. Doc, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. You were graced with a long holiday weekend as well. We know that some business entities sometimes complain about the number of holidays and what it does to their businesses, but the workers need a break as well. You need a break. We know that there are some jurisdictions even looking at a 4-day work week as opposed to a 5-day work week. Welcome, Doc.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners in For the Record land, and those who listen to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and all the people in the Cayman diaspora. Yes, it's good to be off for a few days. I completely took rest. I was supposed to have gone out to East with Lord Graham as guests of some people of East, but unfortunately, my brother-in-law had a birthday,
Okay.
and so I went down there. You know, my sister-in-law owns the music school, Music School at Kimana Bay, and so that's where I went and I spent some time with them because I haven't spent some time with them for a long time.
Okay.
But other than that, I stayed home and I rested. I did a bit of writing. I'm trying to hurry up things now because, you know, time is not on my side. Time is not on my
You're
side.
doing well. You're doing well.
So I'm trying to get things out. But that's, yeah. Some countries are moving towards a 4-day week. And so I think with all the technology now, we don't need people working for such long hours at 5 days a week, at 6 days a week, and 7 days a week, because I understand that you have technology now that can probably do most all the work that humans can do. You know?
Yep. Artificial intelligence
Yes,
is really moving full speed ahead. Of course, there are some serious concerns about it, but it can, just almost like anything else, you have the options of either using it for good purposes or for bad purposes.
And then over the long weekend we had the coronation of King Charles III. I watched that on the TV, and I watched all of the pomp and splendor of that and the traditions of crowning a monarch, because the last monarch that was crowned was back in 1953. And that was his mother. The last coronation was his mother, the late Prince Queen Elizabeth II. So, you know, I was young then. I didn't understand that like I should have, because I was not steeped into the history like I am today. So I was happy to have witnessed that and to witness all of the traditions and the symbolism that a coronation brings. And then the thing that struck me is that all of the Commonwealth countries that were in attendance, I think all of the 53 Commonwealth countries were in attendance.
Represented, yeah.
Even the those who are not in the Commonwealth but are colonies were in attendance. I know Cayman Islands was represented by our premier and our governor, and it was good to see them on TV. So that is over, and then but the controversy still continues about the relationship between the royal family and their sibling and their children, especially Prince Harry, the Duke of what was he? The Duke
Sussex.
of Essex. Sussex, yes. So that is even yesterday there was a thing in the newspaper about his relationship with them, and how he arrived to the coronation, and then as soon as the coronation was over, he jumped into a car,
Headed to
Heathrow, and took the airport, took the flight back to California.
Yeah. It was his son's birthday, so they said he wanted to get back, for that. But the whole question also has to do with why the family wasn't over, his entire family wasn't over in the UK as well. It is obvious that there's a split there, and that will continue. Before we go to the commercial break, also you were, I think it may have been off air, talking about the monarchs who were never coronated, and one was Edward the Fifth. Edward the Fifth. He was known as the Boy King, and reportedly beheaded in the Tower of London. Yes. And then, of course, you had Edward the Eighth, who abdicated.
For the love for a woman, right? Miss Simpson from the American divorcee. Yeah. She just died a few
Wallace Simpson,
a few months ago too.
Yeah. So those were the two that were never coronated. So, folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
William Eden, 1800 through 1879. The grandson of William Eden Sr., the builder of Pedro St. James, William Eden was the proprietor of William Eden and Sons Ship Owners. He was a lieutenant and acting adjutant in the Georgetown Militia. He was among the first elected vestrymen in the Cayman Islands, representing the Prospect area. He served the island as custos from 1855 until his death in 1879.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and respiratory illnesses are among the top causes of death in Cayman every year. From June 3rd until July 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will conduct the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey to better understand the prevalence of non-communicable diseases within our nation. Log on to www.gov.ky/steps to learn more.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
They say you only live once. I say you only die once. But you live every day. I'm Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center, longtime supporter of Radio Cayman. Live your life, my friends. Happiness is in the journey, not the destination. When you're ready, I'm here to support you with the best financial decisions for your family's future. Cayman Insurance Center, protecting you and your family so you can take back your future. I'm Michael Webster, the sure way to protect your family. Call me when you're ready at 925-5433. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets.
Think life insurance. More Than Words, your gateway to local books and more. Connect to your culture. Tap into your roots. More Than Words bookstore in the Thompson Building supplies local books, gifts, trinkets, keepsakes, wall plaques, and journals. The hub for local authors. More Than Words. So much more. More Than Words is now open. Shop number 4, second floor Thompson Building. Or call 936-5544.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record in the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. So, Doc, a few things we want to discuss today. I see circulating, and I see it on the House of Commons website as well. The fact that the House, the committee will be debating tomorrow the future of the overseas territories, UK with the United Kingdom. We'll talk some more about that. A few weeks ago, I think somewhere, what was it, around the first part of April, I received something, a link announcing that this consultation was taking place. But a few days ago, I heard some people struggling when talking about the representation at the coronation of Charles III, and talking about the Commonwealth and the overseas territories, in particular the Cayman Islands, and whether or not we were a part of the Commonwealth. And it was interesting and a little puzzling to note that many people still don't understand the relationship between the overseas territories and the United Kingdom. And the Commonwealth is basically made up, and I won't have enough time to share it during this, before we go to a commercial break, but to understand the relationship. But just briefly now to point out that the Commonwealth is comprised of sovereign, independent, self-governing states, right? India and Pakistan, were two of the first after they gained independence, and I think India had indicated their intentions of becoming a republic. And at a meeting, I think it might have been in 1949, held in London, it was also agreed that had India transitioned to a republic, that they would still be able to join be a part of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
The overseas territories, they are not sovereign countries. They may be partially self-governing to a certain extent. The UK will tell us that when they want to impress the international, their international compatriots. They will say that we're basically, self-governing. We have internal self-government, but we are not a part of the Commonwealth per se officially. When we attend, and I had the opportunity, did I? Well, I did attend one Commonwealth heads of government meeting. When we attend, we do not sit at the table. We sit behind. I believe there may have been one instance when a minister may have been able to sit alongside the British delegation, but we sit behind them. They speak for us. We are not equal partners around that table. We would be equal partners if we were a sovereign country. But we are an overseas territory. We are owned and governed by the United Kingdom. They're not going to have us sitting around the table as equal partners when we are not equal partners. It is unfortunate, for instance, that there's not an arrangement similar to what we have in CARICOM, where we at least have the opportunity, if we didn't want to be a full member of CARICOM, to be an associate member of CARICOM. But what I have been able to determine, there is no arrangement under the Commonwealth of Nations where you can obtain associate status.
No,
so
not under the not under the organization, because you would have to be you would have to have some autonomy, some further autonomy. And it seems to me then that to join those 56 countries in the Commonwealth, you would have to have some sort of autonomy, because the first thing that a lot of us in this country does not understand, a colony is not democratic, because it cannot decide for itself. So it's only in those fully democratic countries that you could join that organization. And I don't think that the Westminster system of government, the constitutional monarchy in the Westminster system parliament model would allow colonies to be sitting at the table representing themselves around with independence. For instance, one of the things people might not get is when we were doing the negotiations to build a dock with China Harbor. Do you know what one of the reasons why that was stopped is because we were a colony making arrangements with a foreign state.
Yeah.
And we did not have that power
exactly
to do that without permission from the British government to do that.
Yes.
That is one of the reasons why you have to do that. You see, a lot of people do not understand that you cannot be, you cannot. For instance, I was right. Democracy is a political system where the interests of a people reign supreme, and if other people have right to
their interest trumps yours,
then you're not Democrat.
Exactly.
You're not Democrat.
Folks, with that, we're going to go to our 8 o'clock news, top of the hour. 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation with Dr. Steve McField will continue. We're going to make it very interesting, very informative for you this morning, but also you have the opportunity to participate if you so wish, and we will share those phone numbers with you when we return from the 8 o'clock news, so please stay tuned.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
At Foster's, you'll always find the biggest specials on the products you love.
Just like bubbly sparkling water, only $5.49, save 70 cents. Or Dr. Organic Body Wash, just $5.99, save $3. And Banquet Pot Pies, only $1.59, save 60 cents.
You'll find even more great specials in-store or online with Foster's Go. Foster's, better prices because we care.
Prices good until May 17th, 2023. Find more specials at fosters.ky.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A part needed to restore service to the Kearney-Gomez Doppler radar system is on its way from Germany. Radio K-Man Shanda Gallego has more.
Radar service went down in March 2023 following a hardware failure. Since that time, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, CINWS, has been working closely with the radar manufacturer to isolate the fault and determine a timeline for repairs. According to CINWS Director General John Tibbetts, the part is expected to arrive on island later this month. He says although the Weather Service has access to other services and tools that enable the team to provide accurate forecasts, the radar service is important to many people in the community. Efforts continue to get it back up and running again. The weather radar helps the National Weather Service monitor meteorological conditions as far as Jamaica and is helpful for providing small-scale predictions. For tracking storms further afield, the team uses the Cayman Islands government's GOES-R satellite system. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
The Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association kicks off the 41st Travel Marketplace with a show of Barbados hospitality. Radio Cayman's April Cummings was there.
National flags, elegant music, and smiling faces greet participants of this year's marketplace as Barbados Prime Minister, the Honorable Miss Mia Motley, hosts a welcome celebration designed to showcase the diversity of the country's offerings. As the night progressed, movers and shakers in the tourism industry moved and shook as they enjoyed soca, steel pans, and Barbados rum. A chance to let their hair down and network a bit while preparing for long days of meetings between buyers and sellers of tourism products. Representatives from across the Caribbean are here to tout the offerings of each island and the unique attractions they represent. It's also a place to find out more about technology in the industry. Cayman is well represented at this event. Today we will have a chance to hear presentations from about a half dozen other islands on their tourism products and profiles. And then tomorrow, Cayman's Tourism Minister, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, will make a formal presentation and update to international journalists. From Barbados, April Cummings for Radio Cayman News.
The Cayman Islands Further Education Center hosted mock interviews for 10 students enrolled in its health and social care program. The mock interviews aim to simulate a real one, allowing the students to practice and improve their interview skills while receiving feedback from experienced interviewers. During the process, candidates got help from the Chief Business Officer at Health City Cayman Islands, and interviews were conducted by a Health Services Authority recruitment officer and the Senior Education Coordinator at Health City. School officials say SciFec is committed to providing its students with the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in their chosen careers. Now with the check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Imran Khan has attended a hearing on corruption charges. The former Pakistani Prime Minister appeared before the judge at a police compound. His arrest has already led to clashes with 2 people killed. Tight security is in place. Palestinians in Gaza have fired rockets into Israel. The attacks followed 2 days of Israeli airstrikes targeting launch sites of the Islamic Jihad militant group. An international appeal has been launched aimed at identifying 22 women believed to have been murdered. Their bodies have been found in 3 European countries, with the oldest case going back to the 70s. Clashes between rival military factions have continued in Sudan. Reports speak of fighting and artillery fire in the capital Khartoum and the cities around it. More than 400 people are now known to have died in the floods that have hit the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. At least 5,000 are believed to be missing. The Russian authorities say there's been a drone attack on a military facility near the Ukrainian border. Unconfirmed reports say at least 10 servicemen were injured. Russia has condemned a recommendation from Warsaw that the Kaliningrad enclave should in Poland be referred to by its historic Polish language name Królewiec. Before Russian annexation, it was known as Königsberg. The Supreme Court in Britain says claimants cannot sue the international oil giant Shell over an oil spill in the Niger Delta in 2011. The judges said the case had been brought too late. In what could be a breakthrough for recycling, researchers have identified microbes that can digest biodegradable plastics in cold temperatures. The ones known until now required temperatures of more than 30 degrees. One of the legends of Mexican football has died. Antonio Carvajal was the first man to play in 5 World Cups. He was 93. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the pharmacy just to fill a prescription?
If what, child, let me tell you.
Well, now you can save time and money with ValueMed's online prescription service. Visit ValueMed's new website, valrx.com, and click the Refill Subscriptions button. Fill in your information and choose your preferred pickup location. Or email your prescription refills for ValueMed Walkers Road at rx-wr@valrx.com, and for ValueMed in Boddentown, email rx-bt at valrx.com. Say goodbye to the hassle of waiting in lines and hello to the convenience of online prescriptions with ValueMed Pharmacy. Visit valrx.com to place your orders today.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store, or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Hello, good people. This is Uncle Selvin. Long time you not hear from me. When I was growing up around here, if you was not feeling too good, there's nothing in a dip in the sea couldn't clear up. Or better yet, your mama would fix you some good bush tea. Mind you, they still works. But the truth be told, those were simpler times when advice about your health and wellness was pretty straightforward. And you trusted it. Today, around here for trusted advice, the folks at Healthcare Pharmacy is the ones I trust. Their team of healthcare professionals and pharmacists have been serving this community now for over 30 years. Healthcare Pharmacy with 2 locations, Grand Harbour and Governor Square. You can reach them wherever you is.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The Hawkwill Theatre will come alive as Cayman National Dance Company presents the 35th season of dance. Its Emerald Celebration, an extravaganza of repertoire pieces, new creations, and remastered dances. Dance should be shared with all who live and breathe, so you do not want to miss the 35th season of dance at the Hawkwill Theatre. Friday, May 19th, 6:30 p.m. For the gala, cost is $75. Saturday, May 20th, 11 a.m. matinee, $10. Saturday, May 20th, 7 p.m. and Sunday, May 21st, 5 p.m. $35 for adults and $15 CI for children under 15. Tickets are available at Radiant Dance Studio, Audiophile Cayman, and Winner Circle Sports, or by calling 926-1826. Sponsored by Cayman National, CNCF, ARC Directors, Water Authority, CUC, BritK, and Radio Cayman. The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG BritK, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure is 29.96 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 83. Synopses indicate light to moderate winds and slight to moderate seas will continue over the Cayman area for the next few days in association with a weak pressure gradient. Satellite images show isolated low-level clouds over the northwest Caribbean. Now, the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of morning showers, and temperatures today will be in the upper 80s with a heat index of 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 8:23, high tide this afternoon at 12:57, and a low tide again tonight at 7:35. The sun will set this evening at 6:50 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:53. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Friday morning.
From your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving our goals is rewarding, but at times can feel frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, be realistic. It's important to set realistic goals and say no to distractions. If you overcommit, then you may have difficulty sticking with your goal. Keep your goals doable. Choose goals that mesh with your other responsibilities. You may also need to tweak either the goals or other priorities if you find things aren't going well.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning. Once again, let's take a look at traffic. Traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way is steady. Off of the Linford Pearson Highway and Agnes Way, also steady. Busy traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway, bumper to bumper. A lot of patience needed this morning as you're heading down to Georgetown, but you will get to your final destination. On Crew Road, heading to Georgetown, traffic is busy. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road, moving along moderately. And as we look to downtown Georgetown on Edward Street, moving on pretty good. Traffic out of Georgetown on Shedden Road is flowing at a good pace. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, flowing pretty good. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, moderate flow of traffic. On the West Bay Road, in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. And that's what's happening on your roads. Also the Estella Tibbetts Highway traffic is busy. And continuing on to North Sound Road, traffic is steady. Industrial Park area, moderate flow of traffic. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and drive safe.
From boat days to beach gatherings, Leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. Remember, phone lines are open if you have any comments or questions. Our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. Email us, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261. And on that WhatsApp number now, you can call in as well. But we can only accommodate one caller at a time on the WhatsApp number. So, Doc, again, for clarity, the overseas territories are not members of the Commonwealth per se. The Commonwealth is comprised of 56 independent countries. We're not an independent country. They make up the Commonwealth. You have Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, and the Pacific as well. It also, on the Commonwealth Secretariat's website, it also points out that 33 of the world's 42 small states are Commonwealth members, each with a population of 1.5 million or less. So our connection with the Commonwealth is as a result of our constitutional connection with the United Kingdom being an overseas territory. I want to share with our audience, because we have seen some of the other overseas territories really highlight and big up their regiment. Even in Bermuda, I think they had a contingent of 4 scouts who attended the coronation as well. And this is what one resident in the UK shared with their friends. A couple shared with their friends here in the Cayman Islands, and I won't call the names because I haven't been given permission, but they sent this email and said, hello, just watched the coronation and caught a glimpse of the 6 soldiers from the Cayman Regiment. I have to say that their drill and turnout was outstanding. I was very impressed. I understand that all those taking part have worked incredibly hard, and it showed. The best military parade I have ever seen. I hope they all have a few beers and a decent night's sleep and get well rewarded on their return home. And that was sent by a couple in the UK who was able to watch it and caught a glimpse of the regiment, Cayman Islands Regiment, participating. And of course, that's a momentous occasion, for them, something that will be seared in their memories for the rest of their lives, and something that they can share, with their children and their grandchildren and all family members as well. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC and Dr. Steve.
Hey, good morning, my friend. Haven't heard from you in a while. Were you in the UK celebrating the coronation?
I was reflecting on it, put it that way, and what it means to me and my history.
Yes.
I was, but throughout all this time, I was listening to you all the time, and specifically, let me congratulate you in particular for the 2 twin programs that you did on the right to family life. I think you gave it some perspective, some of which even I didn't have, and I think that was very educational to the public. And I was glad, by the way, to learn during those 2 programs that OC, I think you had ordained me unofficially to be a contributor to the show.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now, the main reason I called, I don't know if you saw Mr. Kenneth Bryan's contribution in the Legislative Assembly on the 26th of April, when he spoke about this immigration matter and the legal advice which had been given to the Attorney General regarding, that people can't reach 10 years, they have to be rolled over before that. He did make, I think, the same point on one of your other shows, but he made a very important statement on that day in Parliament, and I watched that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, the reason I bring that up, OC, is this. He said during that program something that I didn't know, which was that legal advice, which we know is wrong, and Dr. Steve has played a big role in educating us and the public about that. That legal advice, he says he found out that legal advice was not actually given by the Attorney General. It was actually given by somebody from the private sector. And that I understand the Attorney General doesn't necessarily agree. And, I mean, that he has said that if you go to the 26th of April, part 3, at about 4 hours, 20 minutes, you will see he covers that in some detail.
Okay.
Now, if indeed that is true, I'll also send it in the chat, by email. If that is true, what is the Attorney General being paid for? Why is he coming up now after 14 years to say that legal advice, which was given and has resulted in you giving thousands and thousands of PR and status, why is he coming up now and saying this? I mean, what is he being paid for? And the reason I bring this up really is, you see, the Attorney General, in my view, and this is my opinion, I know it is a very few people can say it publicly, the Attorney General cannot be relied upon to give proper advice in certain political cases. He has also been, in my opinion, part of the conspiracy, together with a few Caymanian politicians, to undermine the interests of Caymanians and in interests of people like me, who has been discriminated against in the same way that Caymanians have been discriminated against. And this is his history. You remember the mass grants in 2003 and 2004? He gave legal advice on that when he was a beneficiary. And then when people asked to say, well, let's judicially review this, Premier Panton at that time was chairman of the Bar Association. He said, let's judicially review this. And what the AG said was, well, but the provision in the law allows cabinets to do this in special cases. The special case is the 500th anniversary of the discovery of Cayman. You remember also about the TLEPs. He gave legal advice to say, if somebody signs these TLEPs, they can't apply for permanent residence, and it will be legally effective. Then later on, when those people wanted to apply for permanent residence, the same legal the Attorney General said, you have to allow them, otherwise legally it won't work. I remember Mr. Ezard Miller took him to task about changing his legal opinion like that, and nothing ever happened. Tempura, he changed his legal opinion in the middle of Tempura to advantage the other person who was negotiating with the government. And the last one, also, before I close, the last one, beach access. I was acting for some people regarding beach access, and we filed a challenge against the refusal of the registrar of land to register the 200 beach accesses. And the law said that if you appeal that decision, the registrar is obligated to send the matter to the Grand Court. The Attorney General advised the registrar not to send the matter to the Grand Court. I mean, that is a deliberate violation of the law, and this Attorney General has gotten away with all this. In closing, get rid of the Attorney General. He has been very, very harmful to Caymanian interests. Let me leave it there. I thank you very much.
Okay, let's see if Doc has any question for you before you go, Billy. Doc, any questions for Billy?
So, Mr. Billy, what we were talking about, I think all of that came up about the case, the latest immigration case, so the civil rights. Yes.
Oh yes, the family life, yeah.
And Section 9 of the Bill of Rights, which the first part of Section 9 mirrors the Article 8 of the European Conventions of the right to the life and the right to privacy and so forth. What did you analyze we have never had a discussion with you about that case that you sent to us, so I know you must have analyzed it. What do you think about it, where the Court of Appeal says that we should find a way outside of the point system to accommodate people who cannot reach the 110 points to be able to get permanent residence?
Well, first of all, I disagree very, very strongly with the decision of the Court of Appeal. At a preliminary level, I would have to say that it is very often a wrong approach to imagine that just because something is done in the UK, that it is good for Cayman. Mm-hmm. In the UK, as you rightly pointed out in the previous shows, in the UK, they are still the majority. The people who are born and bred in the UK are still by far the majority. Mm-hmm. And yet, this is what led to them leaving the EU, okay? Because really they made the case about immigration because it was making it very, very difficult for them to deport people. It was making it very easy for people to go to one part of Europe and then come to them. Mm-hmm. So that's the first preliminary point. But more specifically, to me, if you read those provisions that you've cited, Dr. Steve, they say that you can make a law which derogates from that right to family life. And some of the derogations include that you should do something. You can derogate from the law if there is it is reasonably justifiable in a democratic society for the interest of public service, safety, public order, to protect the rights and interests of other people. To me, the rights and interests of other people that you can protect by creating an exception to that rule includes the rights and freedoms of indigenous Caymanians as well as those people who are status holders. To me, I've always argued that you can go under that section and make a case which is very clear that any drastic things that the Cayman government can do in restricting status grants will be justified in a democratic society in light of the danger of being annihilated and the existential threat that now Caymanians and in fact other status holders also have. Yep. To me, legally speaking, they are totally wrong. In fact, I'm even thinking of writing an article about that, but I do not have the time, you know. But anyway, I agree with virtually everything you said. I think legally speaking they are wrong. That should be appealed to the Privy Council, and it will be, if the Privy Council is not successful, it should be appealed to the European Court of Human Rights as a very good opportunity to make not just a point in this area but in other areas as well, that Cayman must be treated differently, the overseas territories must be treated differently, because the context is very, very different from the context they have in the United Kingdom. It's a rare opportunity to have that point taken all the way that far. Thank you for the time. You've given me so much time, that's my view.
Thank you very much, Billy. Great hearing from you, folks. We're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
I tell you what, I need to find a way to bring my electricity costs down. I don't want to see another high bill next month.
Have you tried doing an energy audit?
A what?
An energy audit. The do-it-yourself energy audits on energy.gov.ky make it easy to find ways to save energy and money in your home or business.
Oh yeah? I'm going to log on to that website right now. What was it again?
Visit energy.gov.ky to download do-it-yourself energy audits for your home or business. There is even a fun activity guide for kids.
Complete an energy audit of your home or business before 31st of May 2023 to be entered into a prize giveaway. Prizes include a $5,000 gift certificate to Home Gas and gift certificates to Cooling Pros, Foam Pros, Costulest, and Foster's.
Visit energy.gov.ky today and follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. Just want to share something that was sent to me as well, and it reads, thanks to the ministries along with all others who donated and made this seniors getaway trip to Cayman Brac possible. Cayman Kind Action Committee, and it says thanks. They then sent a message to the contributors. It says, thanks for your support and contribution. Our seniors had a memorable, enjoyable experience. Their faces were glowing, priceless upon returning home. They are looking forward to another getaway as they enjoyed each other's company as well. So we're glad that the seniors were able to enjoy their trip to Cayman Brac. Okay. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Jose. And good morning to the doctor.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Lord Graham.
I'm good. Jose, I think I heard the doc made mention of us sitting at the table as an overseas territory and not being able to speak up, or don't take part in the dialogue for ourselves. How does that work? Do we have, if we're sitting there in the back, do we have somebody there that will present our wishes or our concerns and will argue them, or we just sit there and accept whatever the motherland would like us to amend, what amendments or what wishes that they would like? How does that work? Can we actually go there and present the changes that we would like, or how does that go? Because we do have a say of presenting something through a third party.
Can you repeat that again for me, Lord Graham? Sorry.
Yeah, I heard the doctor made mention about when we're at the table, negotiating table as an overseas territory, and we don't have a say. Actually, we don't take part in the dialogue. But do we have somebody sitting then in front of us who will present our wishes or any amendments that we would like to see happen in our country, or our concerns, and if it can be argued, or we just have to accept whatever the motherland would like us as an overseas territory, which they think they own, to do.
Yeah, we speak through. Normally, it would be the foreign secretary who would be there representing the United Kingdom. So we would speak through them. They would consult, with those persons who are in the delegation. Like I said, we don't sit at the table. We sit behind. Sometimes they may invite you around the table, but we speak through them. So we convey what it is that we want them to say or to express on our behalf. That is either usually done, before you go in to meetings and everything. But we don't sit at the table where we can say, we represent the Cayman Islands. Here is our position in relation to that. Because if that position is contrary to the position of the United Kingdom, then it really wouldn't work. That's why we're not allowed to sit around the table to speak on our own behalf.
And Lord Graham, it's similar to what happens in cabinet. If you were a minister and you were bringing a paper to cabinet for whatever reasons you want to do, because ministers bring their politicians present their desires and their requests, and especially after an election, if the governor doesn't allow you to put that introduce that to the cabinet, you don't have a chance. It has to be done by them, because they are the supreme power. That's what I say to you. Democracy is the political system where the interest of a people is supreme. But our interest is not supreme, as Mr. For the Record said. The interest of the United Kingdom is supreme, and so we cannot have democracy where a country decision is dictated by others. That's not really democracy at all. We are still.
So then, Doc. Then if we go up there with ideas and wishes, and after I guess they would not just present that. They would wait. They would actually sit with us and talk about it, and then they could water it down and say, well, you can't say this, you can't do that, you're not going to get that, I'm not presenting this, I'm not presenting that, right?
Sure, or they might not present it at all.
At all. That's what I'm saying. So, that like you say, that's not really democracy.
So
that is more dictatorship coming from them to us.
Well, that's the price that you pay when you're subservient to others.
Exactly. That's the price you pay in the master-servant relationship. If you're the servant, that's the price you pay.
Well, in our legislative a couple of days ago, that didn't prove out.
Elaborate on that one for us.
Yes.
There were no collective responsibility there. The premier ended up having to go with against his wishes, and he was supposed to be the supreme.
Well, he's not supreme. He is just first among equals. In this respect, our Constitution does not give him supremacy over the legislature or even cabinet, even though he is first among equals under the Westminster system. The governor, a governor in the system is supreme.
Okay.
Anything else, Lord Graham?
Yes.
No, well, I really don't like the idea of us going to the table in the UK.
But you're not at the table.
No, well, all right.
You're behind the table. That's the whole thing. You're not at the table.
Yeah. But I don't think we should go behind and sit behind the table then.
Yeah. So, well,
you know,
there's a way to do that. And you know,
well, you know the way to go.
Yes.
But you know how that go. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And see, that's the part that gets me.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even want to talk about it. If you talk about it, they say you're radical. They say you don't want you want to be a renegade. We were that back in the day, 18 something. We were that way. So.
Well, Lord Graham, democracy will not drop from the sky for us.
Yeah.
We have to continue to push the political envelope for political development. That has to happen. And if you don't have a government who does that, we will never have true democracy in our country.
But, how long? Your good friend, Mr. Patton, started. What year was that?
Back in the 60s.
60s. Have you ever heard any push like that since that?
Of course not.
Okay. So where are we going?
Well, we're satisfied to be subservient. Politically subservient.
Well, I guess people like me and you and OC and a few others will just be labeled as troublemakers then, so we better calm down.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay. Take care. Ms. Susan, we want to take the break before we grab the next caller. Let's do that. Caller, we're going to take a commercial break. This way we won't have to interrupt you to go to a commercial break after you started talking for about a minute or two. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the feel.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. We do have one caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. Good morning, Dr. Steve. Want to congratulate you on the great job the two of you are doing with your discussions and educating the public on many important issues that you all discuss about. Is very interesting. Sitting listening to you all. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, and I would like to announce that I have a celebration using a ship for our newly appointed king. A Norwegian ship will be passing north of the creek Cayman Brac and Spot Bay Cayman Brac in about 2 hours' time to carry out a 10-long blast salute in honor of our new appointed king. And the ship is flying the British flag registered in Douglas, Isle of Man, coming from Mexico bound for Brazil in ballast. It's a bulk carrier ship. Also on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, one came by 1 mile off and did the same thing, celebration for our king. And that one on Sunday was the sister ship to the one that's coming by in 2 hours' time. And I had a busy weekend with issuing lookouts to find a missing Honduran man coming from Florida, from Key West to Rotan. I got the call on Sunday morning, and I acted on it, and I notified many ships in the Northwest Caribbean. Right away, I did 7 contacts with 7 ships in this area. And during my transmission, it was confirmed by a family member that they heard my broadcast to all vessels to keep a sharp lookout for a missing man in a 40-foot boat. They heard me actually in Rotan with my broadcast. And I got a call yesterday afternoon stating that the boat had been located and the man was in fairly good health. So that missing man from Key West to Rotan has been located.
Good job. Very good job.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Scott, I don't know if you heard the other day, but we know that many people have been speaking about the fact that you do so much for our in the maritime industry in terms of communicating and talking about either you gaining recognition or being compensated in some way for it. And I made a suggestion, and I'm gonna I don't know if you heard it, but have you ever considered establishing a not-for-profit entity? It could be called Cayman's Eyes and Ears or whatever. But if you were to establish a not-for-profit organization, then that would help you, that organization, to qualify for funds from the government of the Cayman Islands, just like other entities do. Sporting organizations that get grants from the government, and that would be able to help you to procure and maintain the type of equipment that you need to have a proper place to broadcast. Of course, you would be accountable for the funds that are dispersed to you, but you should talk to someone who is familiar with the nonprofit creation of nonprofit organizations and look to take it in that direction if you have such an interest.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much for doing the broadcast on the air here. I heard about it, and I forgot a while ago to give my thanks out to you. That was a great job. A few people told me about it. They were listening to it in Cayman Brac. Thank you very much for that. Yes, that would be something. Anyway, all it has been in the past was actually promises. I got a call from the Coast Guard Department that was roughly 2 years ago and saying that they was going to do something, but nothing came about into fruition. Only promises related to this situation, right? And as it stands now, I have my tower and antenna at the old house where I used to live in, my mother's house, from Paloma onward till I finally got mine completed on the beach side. So now I don't have an antenna out there at my house, so my communications are all done from my garage, my workshop garage, working on the heavy equipment. That's where I have my radio equipment located now, because it was removed from the house. The house is an old house in dilapidated condition, needs to be repaired, where we were living before. Now I have my place on the beach, and I haven't set up out there because it's actually a public service and don't have the finances to deal with it. Got to deal with all the other things. Just having income from the heavy equipment here and there, that's not a steady income. So that's how it is at this moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that, Mrs. Scott. Wish you all the best, and any information that we can share with you on this end, we'll be more than happy to do so as well. We have another caller. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor and Dr. McField.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
This is Terry from the BRAC. I just want to say that there's so much that we should be doing for some of our citizens, like Mr. Raymond, who just called. What a wonderful human being he is. Every opportunity I get to do something for him or give him a ride, because as you all know, he lost his license for that accident, I try to, because he's so intelligent, and the man is a savant, and we're not recognizing that is who he is. He is a savant. He's so intelligent and articulate and extremely smart at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that, this is where our government drops the ball and lacks in helping those citizens like him. He provides I guess you could call it a marine security safety sort of system that he's set up. And we should put him on the payroll in the ministry that deals with marine and anything in that relation, because he is in communication with so many vessels. Like he just said, he helped put out a broadcast for a missing person on their way to Honduras from Florida, and they've been found. I'm probably 100% sure in saying that his broadcast probably did assist in locating this missing person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we should put him on the monthly payroll. He should get at the bare minimum every month from our government, $2,000, $2,000, full health insurance, you name it. That man has done so much for our islands. We are not recognizing him in the appropriate manner that he should be recognized. And like I said, and I implore anyone who knows him or want to meet him, come to the BRAC if you want to meet him, and just take a drive with him. He is the most intelligent human being. Every time I drive with him, I get more and more educated about life, and he's so smart. And I want to say this morning that I am grateful that we have him up here in the BRAC, and I'm sure many people are, and I really would like the government to reach out and put him on a payroll and get him, pay him for his work, because no one is giving him a dime, and it's all coming out of his pocket, and he's doing it freely. And I understand where you're coming from with an NGO or a charity, Mr. O.C., but...
it wouldn't be a charity, it would be a non-profit, not-for-profit, which means that he would obtain the funds. There's nothing wrong with him paying himself, out of that, but it all has to be accounted for at the end of the day. What he wouldn't be able to do is to, based on the service that he provides, to make a profit off of it, but it would give him some operational funds, which appears to me is what he really needs at this point in time. Are there any resources on the BRAC that could assist him in establishing this, NPO?
I mean, I can certainly help him. I do MPOs,
Mm-hmm.
but I just think that we should put him on our payroll.
Yeah,
he should be established as an employee of our government.
That may be technically a little bit difficult. I was thinking about that, and there are some jurisdictions where and we have a public tenders committee here, whether or not the government of the Cayman Islands could use a single source procurement to say, we don't want to advertise this service that we're seeking. We already have it out there. We know who we want, and we don't have the need to advertise. I'm not sure that any politician or any civil servant may want to put themselves out on the limb to do that without some sort of competitive process rather than just identifying him, even though he's the only one that is doing it now. But as soon as money gets involved in payment, and a salary, everyone is going to want to do it then. So I'm not sure whether or not there's any entity or individual out there who's prepared to put themselves on the line to go out and to do that. But that would be the other option. There are some jurisdictions where the cabinet can do it and say, we want, this is a service that we want to single source it. Again, they would have to consult, I would imagine, with the Office of the Ombudsman, because we don't have an Office of Ethics here in the Cayman Islands, Dr. McField. So maybe the Office of the Ombudsman or also the Auditor General's office to see how it could be done. And we understand what you want to do. We understand that Mr. Scott is the only individual and entity providing that. Now, how we go about doing that is another thing to ensure that it can withstand any scrutiny.
And he would also have to make a business case for it also.
Mm-hmm. I think the business case is there.
I mean, what he is no different than FADS, or what's that other company that provides all those services to the airport for security and everything else?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, they're basically been on a 20-year contract right now. No one's, I don't even know if that goes to procurement.
They have to go to tenders after the expiry of their contract.
Well, I beg to differ in that regard, but then again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying he could form a company himself, and then the government could contract that service. Am I right?
They will have to probably put it out to tenders unless they were able to do a single source procurement without having to tender it. And normally for single source, it means that is the only entity that really can provide the product that the government wants.
And that's when I say you have to make a business case to show that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, that's not a problem. I can happily put his business case together for him. But I want to ensure that he gets compensated for this. He needs to be compensated for this.
We agree, fully agree.
We agree.
Yeah. We're getting his services for free, and it's such a major assistance to the marine environment of our country and our waters and stuff like that. And we're just turning a blind eye, and that's sad. Mm-hmm. Very, very sad indeed. So, I mean, I'm going to have another talk with him, see what he wants to go, how he wants to go about it, and the way he wants to go about it. I'm going to also talk to the ministers about it as well, those that will respond to my email and not the idiots, as some are, and see what they want to do and how we can help him and put him on a payroll, because he needs to be paid for this service, and I want it paid 5 years ago too. Paid for that the last 5 years as well. At least show our people that we care. We know that their worth. We know their worth, and their worth has been good for the country, and we didn't need to import someone to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for that. Top of the hour headline news. Before we go there, someone suggested that maybe he could set up a GoFundMe page to do that as well. That may be possible. I'm not really into that technical part of things, but we see GoFundMes all the time for various purposes. That is quite possible as well. Folks, top of the hour, headline news. When we return, the conversation with Dr. Steve McField will continue, so please stay tuned.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The National Trust says the National Conservation Council is being, quote, effectively disbanded with no members appointed or reappointed at the end of their terms. As an organization with an obligation to nominate a member to the council, the National Trust is asking Cabinet to, quote, do their duty and appoint members to the council. The publisher of The Mirror has apologized to Prince Harry for unlawful information gathering at the start of a trial over alleged phone hacking. Mirror Group newspaper said it would never be repeated. Lawyers representing Harry told the court he was subjected to the, quote, most intrusive methods of obtaining personal information. Harry is one of several high-profile figures bringing claims against MGN. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has appeared before a judge a day after his arrest on corruption charges sparked nationwide protests. Police say nearly 1,000 people have been arrested since Mr. Khan was held in Islamabad on charges he denies. There was tight security at the police guest house where he's being detained, which is serving as a courtroom. The arrest dramatically escalated a political battle between Mr. Khan and Pakistan's powerful military. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
The headline news are brought to you by Health Services Authority.
HSA's cardiology clinic is now located at Smith Road Medical Center. Our cardiology team provides expert care and treatment for heart conditions such as coronary artery disease, heart failure, arrhythmias, hypertension, congenital heart diseases, among others. The new location offers state-of-the-art cardiac diagnostic testing, including echocardiograms, ECGs, and stress tests. To contact, call 949-8600. At HSA, your heart matters to us.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve McField. For those of you who are listening and watching, if you know someone who may have lost their cell phone in the vicinity, actually it is in the parking lot, the parking spaces that are on to the side of parkers in Industrial Park. Someone may have lost their cell phone on last Friday. Friday would have been what, the 5th? The 5th of April, 5th of May. That phone has been located by someone. You can call 916-0390 to retrieve the phone. Of course, if the phone is locked, then the person who has it would want you to demonstrate that it is your phone by unlocking it in their presence as well to ensure that. But if you know someone, or if you have lost a cell phone in the vicinity of parkers in the parking area to the side of the building, not to the front, but to the side of the building on Friday, call 916-0390 to retrieve the cell phone. Okay, Doc, one of our listeners, this one has to do with traffic. Person is saying, good morning. This is a question regarding road safety. Person says, I am on the road this morning and a little bit confused by individuals riding bicycles. Person says, I passed someone riding a bicycle facing the oncoming traffic like pedestrians should be doing. Then I passed another one going with the traffic. So, should bicycles be on the left or should they be on the right side in the Cayman Islands? I would say, my opinion on it is that cyclists are legally obligated to follow the rules of the road, just like motorists. They should be moving with the traffic, not against the traffic. In those areas, those roads where you have cycle lanes, where there are cycling lanes, the cycling lanes are usually not designed to be one way. You can operate in both directions, but that's when you're riding in the cycling lane. When you're riding in traffic, you should ride with the traffic. Now, we know that runners and walkers, they're encouraged to walk or run against the traffic so that you can see what is coming towards you rather than from being hit from behind. What I would also say to cyclists, those who ride on the wrong side of the road, think in the hopes that they're being safe and they may be fearful of traffic behind them. In this day and age, with so many cheap devices, you can actually purchase a light with a radar that alerts you to the fact that there's traffic behind you. It will beep or whatever. So cyclists should try to avail themselves to that device. We know that those persons who are in cycling for either sport or for competitive purposes, when they're out there training, they will have those red lights flashing in the back. Some will have cameras. Some will be operated by radar as well. Also, like I said, cyclists are obligated to observe the rules of the road like everyone else. One thing that people may not realize, sometimes you get drivers who complain when cyclists are riding two abreast. And under Cayman Islands traffic law, you are, as a cyclist, allowed to ride two abreast. I don't encourage it, because I prefer that if we're behind each other in one straight line as opposed to two abreast. But the group may be so large that it is can't accommodate such a long line, so you ride two abreast. But legally, that can be done, even though some drivers get pretty frustrated about it as well. But as usual, if you want to stay safe on our roads, folks, observe the rules of the road. If you don't know the rules of the road, then please familiarize yourself with them. Ms. Susan, we have a caller, you said. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am all right. I'm sitting here enjoying the beautiful morning God has provided. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
I couldn't help it overhearing my friend Raymond there on the radio. I always want to make sure that I try to back him in his endeavor. But I want to touch on the cycling part first. And I myself do have an issue with this cycling problem, with some riders choosing to face the traffic rather than back onto the traffic. To me, as a cyclist on the road, it will be more scary to be back onto the traffic. But as a driver in a vehicle, those riders coming face on, they are the one that tends to not pull off from the oncoming traffic. The traffic then has to more or less stop for that rider to cross, or almost come to a slow for that rider to cross.
Mm-hmm.
So by him facing the traffic, he feels like he can more or less stay on his part of the road, given the traffic no alternative but to slow, or like I say, or to stop, or to go around if there's no other car coming, which I can see a problem in Grand Cayman with that, and I see a problem with it arising here on the block also now with these bicycles on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens today that I am thinking of, that these bicycles should be licensed in order for them to have the right to be on the road. We understand that they have to be on the road because they don't have no other alternative to get around. Yes, we understand that. But for them to be on the road, they must have the knowledge and understanding to realize that these vehicles come in, they have to pull as much as they can off to the side to allow vehicles to cross them safely, that they themselves don't be in harm's way when traffic is coming. It's pure common sense, but a lot of them, I see a lot of them, and I mean, it really, if people have to pay it in the mind, it will become a road rage pretty soon in the country, because who has the right of way? Does the bicycle have the right of way, or the car has the right of way? And these kind of questions everybody is juggling with. So that could be a whole new topic for a whole new day. But given the fact there, the thing with Raymond, with what that lady was saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being compensated is not as easy as she think that is for him to get compensation for the last 20, 30 years that he been doing that work. And Raymond been doing that now for over 30 years. And he has been doing a tremendous job, outstanding job under the watchful ear and eye of the Coast Guard especially. And I'm not talking about Cayman Coast Guard. I'm talking about U.S. Coast Guard. And it's kind of difficult to and I've mentioned it before when I talk about it and I brought it up. He needs to be helped. It's not easy to put him in the payroll system of government, but he could receive the help maintaining his equipment for the job that he's doing. That the government can look into and have done.
Mm-hmm.
But for a payroll, so the government is not gonna. That would go to a whole different members meeting and board meeting and every other kind of meeting in order for that to okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as simple as she think it is. But I mean, given the fact I understand his problem, and she just learning his problem. I know his problem from like I say 25 years ago, you know, understand? So it's something that it needs to be looked into, but it has to be looked into in the right form and fashion.
Mm-hmm. Caller, some time ago when I was young growing up, you had to have your bicycle license. You had to tag on your bicycle. When was that removed from the traffic law?
I struggle with that when I notice a lot of these foreign nationals coming into our country, because it's very rare now you see locals riding bicycles, because most locals now get ride with one another or they buy their own car. But the foreign nationals that come in here that riding bicycles, none of these bicycles have a license, none has a reflector, they don't have no horn or bell or no flashing lights or no headlights. I don't understand how they're allowed to ride on the streets, especially in the night, and there's no problems and no police pulling them down and questioning them or removing the bicycles from their possession. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some bicycles on the road several weeks ago, and maybe months ago. I don't know, can't remember. And they told me that they were off the cruise ship.
Yes.
But they don't don't have to have any license.
That's another bone of contention with that,
yes.
because there are local companies here that provide
that rents bicycle.
Yes.
So if you have a local company that rents bicycles, why would you allow them to bring them off the cruise ships?
And do tours as well. Yeah.
I mean, where's the revenue in that?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the revenue in that? Mm-hmm. So it goes right back to the whole system. They need to relook at the system for these vehicles or bicycles or mopeds or these little electric scooters or whatever. They need to revamp that whole system there and find out what they need to do to get that back up and get it in place, in order for things to be safe, not only for the driving vehicles, but for the people that are walking on the sidewalks and everything else. It has to be looked into and get because they have to put these bicycles, they have to put license back on these bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, OC, when something happened to these people on the bicycles, they say, listen, we are licensed to be on the road. Mm-hmm. But if something happened to that bicyclist, they are not licensed to be on the road. It's a source of transportation. That bicycle is a source of transportation, and that should be licensed under the law. By all means, it should be licensed.
Well, that I think it was in the early 2000s, may have been before that they dispensed with the requirement of licensing a bicycle. I'm not sure what licensing a bicycle accomplishes unless you're going to inspect it, like you say, as well, to ensure that it is compliant, with being used on the road. What I would say is more important than a licensing is encouraging all cyclists to wear helmets, and as well. But as far as compensation is concerned, unless the bicycle is insured, if they're hit by a car, then the vehicle's insurance would cover that. But the licensing of bicycles at one point in time was a source of revenue for the Cayman Islands, just like stamps and everything was.
Yes.
But if your bicycle is stolen, trust me, having it licensed is not going to help you to recover it, because it's a tag on there that can be removed, as well. But I get your point. There are some vehicles on the road, caller, that need to be licensed. Those, and I think we are being a little bit too loose with what we allow on our roads. And yes, I understand that they're trying to encourage people to use alternate forms of transportation, but at the same time, they need to be protected on the roads, and other road users need to be protected as well. Caller, thank you. Thank you very much for that. We do have another caller on hold. We have to take a commercial break. After we return, we will take those callers, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We still don't know the true impact of non-communicable diseases like diabetes and cancer on our people. This is why, from June 3rd to July 31st, 3,300 adults from all 3 islands will be chosen to participate in the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Results from this survey will allow the Ministry of Health and Wellness to take a data-driven approach to making healthcare policy decisions now and for the future. Log on to www.gov.ky/steps to learn more.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a few callers queued up. Let's grab those callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, and good morning to Dr. Steve.
Good morning,
also.
sir.
Okay. Well, I have a question. Those who are British overseas territories and have been issued a British passport during the time of war,
those of us who are British overseas territories and individuals who have British passports, will they be forced to go to war, being an overseas territory with a British passport?
I don't know, because the position that we're in now, with British overseas territory citizenship and British citizenship, you see, there's a carve out there that exempts us from, for instance, paying taxes, because every British citizen, I guess, have to pay their taxes and file their income tax. But we have a carve out. I don't know if it comes to war, that might change the whole position, because in the First and Second World War, a lot of people from the Commonwealth countries and from the colonial countries fought in the Army and Air Force of the British, in the British Navy, the Army, and the Air Force. A lot of them volunteers, and a lot of them joined in the Caribbean in British Navy, and also what they call the British Defence Forces, the West Indian Regiment. And so that is a really, really good question to answer. I just don't know how to answer that question.
Well, I would add to that, caller, that if we were to look at when was the Falklands War? 1983.
Yes.
We saw the Cayman Islands donated $1 million to the war effort there. Right. I don't know how the population of the Cayman Islands thinking these days, but I would say that with their zeal to remain British, to remain a British overseas territory, to remain subjugated to a certain extent, or to be a second-class citizen, right? Because it's a British overseas territory citizen, even though they have offered British citizenship to us, and some of us do have that as well. But I would not doubt that you would have many, many Caymanians volunteering, just like they did, to go and fight for the British. There's a lot of, and I quote-unquote British veins, and I say that facetiously, British blood flowing through the veins of Caymanians, and they would probably go and fight. I don't think that you would have to conscript them in any way that they would volunteer to go and fight for the British.
And then, sir, in addition to what Mr. For the Record has to say, also there is also the semblance of a local army already.
Yes,
and local armies are not for policing matters. Local armies are trained to fight wars. And so I think if push comes to shove, there would have to be some Judas on our part to support the war effort.
Okay, I have another question, gentlemen.
Okay.
During the same time, I believe that these British overseas territory passports were being issued to those who were asking for one. I think they had something at that time called the white paper.
Yes.
What was that all about?
There was one called Progress for Partnership and Prosperity.
Yes.
And similar to the one, we had one after that as well, and it was basically discussing the relationship between the United Kingdom and its overseas territories. Similarly, we have one now, and we're going to talk about that, where the House of Commons, there will be a debate tomorrow in relation to this new initiative that has been put forward in terms of the Foreign Affairs Committee looking into the relationship between the United Kingdom and its overseas territories as well.
Because, sir, you remember, I think it was a couple of shows we had before, there was a move in England talking about the rights of the British in the overseas territories, the rights of the British.
Yep.
Well, some of those people have been agitating about the right to vote
Yes.
And the right to sit in the legislative, to be elected to the Legislative Assembly.
For permanent residents.
For permanent residents. So all look at all that as that's very revealing of what might come if your question is answered properly.
Caller,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you as well. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. No more calls at this point in time. Okay. So, Doc, there's one that is. I'm going to share this one first. One of our listeners has written and said, there are bicycle groups totally autonomous to the cruise ship Ida, conducting tours in this island without any accountability to the Business License Board. They are gainfully employed by the cruise ship in direct competition to on-island business. There are walking tours conducted by cruise employees at great gain to the ships and nothing for the country. This is despicable.
That's disgusting.
Well, these are the types of deals that our politicians have negotiated with the cruise lines.
Yes.
We have sold their soul to the cruise lines, which is unfortunate. But the point is there, and I guess sometimes we do that because we feel that if we don't do that, then we won't get what we want, from the cruise line. So we have to give something in return. But there's strong arguments, to first and foremost look out for the interests of the people of the Cayman Islands.
And I
that
wonder,
should be country first.
In another way, I was wondering what would happen if one of those people from the cruise ship on the bicycles have an accident in the Cayman and was hurt badly. Would they have a right to sue? Would they have a right to compensate would the local people be liable to compensation if they had an accident, being that they
if it's being conducted by the cruise ship,
the cruise ship,
I would imagine it would be the cruise ship that would be liable because they're the ones who would be selling the tours and as well. Yeah. Yep. Okay, Ms. Susan, you want to take that commercial break? Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and respiratory illnesses are among the top causes of death in Cayman every year. From June 3rd until July 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will conduct the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey to better understand the prevalence of non-communicable diseases within our nation. Log on to www.gov.ky/steps to learn more.
West Bay Pharmacy. Personalized medicine, customized care to meet your specific needs. Your body is unique to you. Your medicine should be too. Whether you're seeking individual-specific medication, correct size dosages, or simply better tasting medicine, ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about how compounding at West Bay Pharmacy can increase your treatment options, not only for your family, but for your pets too. West Bay Pharmacy, open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Sundays and most holidays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Ensuring your existing appliances and equipment are cleaned and maintained regularly is an easy way to improve energy efficiency in your home.
Have your air conditioning equipment serviced by a professional. Make sure bathroom and kitchen exhaust fans and refrigerator coils are cleaned regularly, because the harder your appliances have to work, the higher your bills will be.
The do-it-yourself energy audits on energy.gov.ky make it easy to find ways to save energy and money in your home or business.
Complete an energy audit of your home or business before 31st of May 2023 to be entered into a prize giveaway. Prizes include a $5,000 gift certificate to Home Gas and gift certificates to Cooling Pros, Foam Pros, Costuless, and Foster's.
To learn more, visit energy.gov.ky today and follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have no callers. We're going to take this opportunity, Ms. Susan, for about 15 minutes to talk about this inquiry that is being conducted. So we see what has been circulating this morning. An announcement has been made that members of Parliament will debate the future of the overseas territories. And it says that on Thursday, that is tomorrow, the 11th of May, members of Parliament, that is in the United Kingdom, will hold a debate on the future of British overseas territories. Now, this comes as a result of, on the press release was issued on the Thursday, the 20th of April, 2023, and it was headlined, New Inquiry, the Status of the UK's Overseas Territories in the 21st Century. And it reads, the constitutional arrangement of the United Kingdom's overseas territories and whether the relationship is satisfactory and appropriate in the 21st century is the main focus of the Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee. I may have erroneously said earlier that this had to do with the Foreign Affairs Committee, but this is the Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee, known by the acronym PACAC. The release goes on to say that while 10 of the United Kingdom's overseas territories are self-governing, the United Kingdom is responsible for their defense and foreign relations. The interaction between overseas territories and the UK Parliament and government was brought to the attention during the passage of the Sanctions and Money Laundering Act 2018, where the unusual step was taken to extend the act to cover their jurisdictions. The committee is seeking evidence on how the United Kingdom Parliament and the civil service engages with the overseas territories and across different government departments, how their interests are represented in the United Kingdom Parliament, and how the rights of British overseas citizens are protected. And this is a quote given by Mr. William Ragg, who is the chair of the PACAC, and he said, it reads, the United Kingdom overseas territories are an important part of the UK family, with 10 territories permanently inhabited by British nationals and all 14 represented at the international level by the United Kingdom. We cannot deny their unique constitutional position. I'm going to pause there for a second, Doc, and just read this part again. Say, with 10 territories permanently inhabited by British nationals and all 14 represented at the international level by the United Kingdom. Exactly what we spoke about before, Doc, in relation to it. Exactly what we spoke about in relation to it. where at the table sit the UK and we sit behind them because they represent us at the international level. Goes on to say each territory has its own legislative process and bespoke relationship with the United Kingdom, but with no official representation in the United Kingdom Parliament. These constitutional arrangements are often misunderstood or overlooked. He's quoted as saying, "We recognize that there is no one-size-fits-all framework for relations between the United Kingdom and overseas territories, but by better understanding how existing arrangements operate in practice, we can better assess whether they are satisfactory and appropriate in the 21st century." And then, of course, there are terms of references that have been provided for the committee as well. And any submissions are welcome by 5 p.m. on the 4th of September, Monday the 4th of September of this year. So here are the terms and conditions. Are the United Kingdom's current constitutional arrangement as regards the overseas territories satisfactory and appropriate in the 21st century? So that's one question. The other one, what is the UK government's relationship with the overseas territories? What is the United Kingdom Parliament's relationship with the overseas territories? How is legislation made in the overseas territories, and what role does the United Kingdom government and the UK Parliament have in these processes? Are effective mechanisms in place for the interests of the overseas territories to be represented internationally? We spoke about that this morning, how we represented. Are the rights and interests of British overseas citizens effectively protected by the current constitutional arrangement as well? So those are the terms of reference that have been placed for the committee as well. And this one is interesting. How is legislation made in the overseas territories, and what role does the United Kingdom government and the UK Parliament have in this process? And again, it goes back to that anti-money laundering situation, and the fact that in the United Kingdom, there is still an order in council sitting there in the Parliament in the event that this the public registers of beneficial ownerships, whether or not that act is complied with by the overseas territories, that it will be put into effect by an order in council that they have already produced. So this comes at a timely period, and before we encouraged persons to get involved in this, form groups or whatever, but my position had also been, Doc, that I believe that this is a role that the Constitutional Commission here in the Cayman Islands can play a major part in developing for the people of the Cayman Islands through consultations, through having town hall meetings or whatever to get the feedback from the people. The government, the politicians can do theirs separately, but the people of the Cayman Islands should have their say in that.
It's very interesting, Mr. For the record, to see what this debate will entail.
Yes.
On the one hand, it says that there's no one size frock or one size coat that fits all.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, the Court of Appeal, which is mostly come from that side of the pond, is saying that we should adopt the same system that they use in the United Kingdom when it comes to people who wants to stay here forever. It's saying that we should do that, bearing in mind that we are completely different from, as you said this morning when you open your program, that we are completely different from the United Kingdom, and we cannot, the same rules does not apply to. So what it seems to me that when it comes to civil rights and the framework of international law and the rules, they are very comfortable used for some people when it suits them.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't. It's not comfortable for us when we use it to suit our own local position that we're taking. And if you believe in international law, then it must be applied equally to everybody. That's what it seemed to me. So it seems to me that yeah, I agree that the Constitutional Commission should get involved in this, and they should have meetings. But there should also be some sort of representation by a group of Caymanian people to say that even in a country as small as ours, there's a different dissent and where and disagreement and where we want to go, and there's differences and how we should get there. I think that from now to September that we should get a group of people and make representation individually as a non-government organization instead outside of the Constitutional Commission.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yes. We should get together, and there are many people out there who are capable, of doing it. We need to put something formal, and I also believe that we should make submissions to the committee to have a delegation go to the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And to give evidence in front of the committee as well. That would be my view on it.
You are capable of doing it.
Thanks for that vote of confidence, Doc. And I would be more than happy to accompany others.
Yes.
Yes. There as well. But this is something that we need to take serious, and we can't wait until the last minute to do it. I know I did speak to some persons in regards to this, and I think after the whole Joint Ministerial Council meetings have been concluded after the celebrations in the UK, and people are back here in the Cayman Islands, that we will know a little bit more in terms of some of the approaches that possibly even say the Constitutional Commission may be able, or what role they may be able to play in this. But certainly their remit that they have based on our Constitution, allows them to undertake that.
Yeah,
if you go back, if you get a chance, we go back to the Constitution and we look at what it says about the Constitutional Commission.
And the reason why I say that very strongly is because I noticed that the government has media representation now in Barbados. To this conference they have there. I think April Cummins is reporting from there. I see that. Excellent. There's no reason why we shouldn't have that sort of representation from there too.
Yeah.
So that we could have a daily reporting as to what's taking place.
Yep. Okay. We're going to go to a commercial break. Just before we go there, though, someone wanted me to clarify what I meant by when I said the cruise ship situation and the ability of companies to conduct tours on the island and do business on the island is a deal that was negotiated by our politicians. That was a long, long time ago, not this current administration, but a long time ago in terms of what the cruise ships are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. I remember in the 90s there was this whole thing about photographers coming off to take wedding pictures and stuff. That was a huge issue as well. So this was something that was done a long time ago. Nothing necessarily to do with this current Ministry of Tourism as well. We have 3 callers. We have 15 minutes or less when we return from our commercial break. We're going to entertain all of those callers. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Washing your clothes in cold water can save you 90% of your washing machine energy usage.
Using LED light bulbs uses 75% less energy than regular bulbs, and they last 25 times longer. Keeping your appliances and equipment cleaned and maintained regularly will reduce your monthly electricity bill.
The do-it-yourself energy audits on energy.gov.ky make it easy to find ways to save energy and money in your home or business.
Complete an energy audit of your home or business before 31st of May 2023 to be entered into a prize giveaway. Prizes include a $5,000 gift certificate to Home Gas and gift certificates to Cooling Pros, Foam Pros, Costyless, and Foster's.
To learn more, visit energy.gov.ky today and follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have about 12 minutes left, 3 callers, so we're going to ask each caller to please be as brief as you possibly can. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Dr. McField and Mr. Connor.
Good morning. Good morning. Doc has stepped out for a second, but he'll be back in the studio in a few minutes. Go right ahead.
Not a problem. I just want to say on the immigration thing there, I agree with what you guys are saying. We need to protect Cayman because we are not getting any bigger. It seems like everybody want to pile up in Cayman, and it can't work because over a period of time, we won't have space to even walk or drive or anything like that. So we need it. You know, Cayman, like somebody said many years ago, Cayman is not for everyone. Come here, learn. If they like how peaceful we are, well, go back to your country and try to develop that peacefulness in your country. That's the best thing. Now, what I really called about OC was, you know, I had this building down on the Escoters Way and had to do a lot of research, and I found many things. You know, the planning law has a fencing law, and I saw that people are building the fence right on the boundary points. According to the fencing law, they got to slip it back 12 inches from the boundary point, and if it's a main arterial road, it should be 32 inches above the road level. And also, if they want to do a hedge on the back of that, it's got to be 3 feet on the back of that. But we see here people are building the fences, and also the trees are hanging over the fences, over where people would have to walk on it, and I think that's wrong. And also, last quick thing is this chain link fence. Now, as far as I can recall, we had about 2 deaths with the chain link fence. According to the planning law or fencing law, that is prohibited on a main arterial road. It's banned but you're still doing it. You had the one many years ago in front of McDonald Pub there, and then not too long ago, one on Walker's Road, you know, and they should ban that fence in front of there. Should be 32 inches, and also have it that the hedges is far enough back from the fence. We had that big almond tree up on South Church Street that had an accident. Somebody lost their life. That should have been taken down many years ago. They wouldn't do it. Now, on my property down there, the adjacent property, they plant ficus trees right on the boundary. And when I come out, you know, standing back in my car, I can see the thing, but, you know, road authority said I don't have no visibility. I do have visibility, but they just, that board that they got there, the members of the board, the director, and the engineers there, I can work with them. But that board of directors, you got one there that he thinks he owned the board and dictate everything, and they should get rid of him, you know. In fact, I'm writing a letter to the ministry shortly to ask the board, because it's not his personal board. He needs to be removed from the board. And any person that you put to a board, they must realize they're subject to the director of the NRA. They're not the director to direct the NRA, the chairman or the director what to do. You know, they need to take advice from them, what can work and what can't work. Now, I know you got time limited, but let's cut off right there.
Thank you.
You could do something with a fence in law.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Caller. Next caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Fine. How are you two fine gentlemen?
We're okay.
Fine. Thanks. And yourself?
Great.
I'm wonderful, and I'm listening to you all and enjoying every bit of the knowledge that you all are trying to impart in us. I have a question. And I know that maybe OC, because you're a road cyclist from the day I know you, and then it's Dr. Steve there that knows the laws about things. I am such a sad northwest part of West Bay that if I would drive down there and I would see all of the development we got. And my question is, I want to ask, does these developers have any right to put on the outside of the shoulder of the road where people would have to ride bicycle or walk, you know, the part that is not the main road paved, to put all of these big rocks and stones that they're bringing down from quarry up in the eastern side, or maybe they import them where you think, to keep people from being able to walk or ride bicycle. I've seen a lot of people that is trying to have to get off their bicycles or walk and then run to try to get before the traffic gets to them, to get out of the way. Is that something that the government is allowing and can allow? Or is that people taking it on their own because nobody could do them nothing or say nothing to them? I really need to find that out. It's bothering me so much.
Yeah, you know, those vehicles, you know, transporting materials are subject to certain rules. One of them has to do with, you know, covering their load. At several years ago, we saw that being strictly enforced, and now nothing is being done about that. You know, my view on the road situation in the Cayman Islands, that it has become lawless, and the reason that it has become lawless is because we don't really have as much enforcement as we need to have on the roads.
You're not getting what I'm saying. It is not the trucks that are backing them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the owners that have developed down on Northwest Point all these condos, and they've taken the shoulder of the road where the government would have had, after we had the black top.
Mm-hmm.
We had where you would ride bicycle, but you all normally ride file together because
Right.
yeah.
So the cars that are parked on the side of the roads?
Yes,
Yeah.
what it is. Ride down and see, because that should never be something that the government is passing and letting us have no say in our community.
Well, I see it in other areas where that construction has taken place as well. They use the sides of the road for parking. We're going to try to grab another caller, last caller before we go. I want to thank that caller. I know that we haven't answered your question fully, but hopefully there will be other opportunities as well. Let's grab the last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning to Mr. O.C. and
good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Morning to you, gentlemen. I was calling on a quick other matter, and I'm going to try to get to that, but the last caller there triggered something, being a Northwest Point as well. One of the things that has always bothered me about the development that's going on in Northwest Point is the fact that we allowed for some of these developments to have these very tall cemented walls. And one of the things that we used to love about Cayman is that the front wall had to be like fence height. But now you have these walls that are like 13 feet or whatever it is that is on the roadside, so you can't even see into the property, and it's quite, it's awful actually. And I can't believe that we have allowed it. I didn't think that was lawful. That is something that we allowed to do. So anyway, that's not what I call. I have a suggestion for the NRA to do with easing traffic and some of the traffic woes that we're having. There is that junction that is at the little small roundabout that is at Dorsey Drive, Shedden Road, and Crew Road, that little small one. The double lanes that are coming from Crew Road, if you're heading towards the airport, if you can picture it, one of them veers left onto Shedden Road, and the other little one continues to allow you to go through the little roundabout to go into Dorsey Drive. Right. I think the NRA should remove that little cement structure that we have, the little thing there that says have a safe flight, and actually allow a double lane straight down there, because what we're finding, gentlemen, is, and I have to traverse that area quite often given where I work, there is almost from morning straight to night, even on weekends sometimes, there's backup from the big grocery store there, Foster's, all the way to that minute roundabout, because people are turning in there, coming out of McClendon Drive, going into the parking lot there at Foster's. And I think if they have the space to allow that double lane, because they've occupied the free space with just lines, and they could actually do a double, because that road actually doubles once you go around the corner. Just a little further down, they could actually make that a double lane and allow for the traffic that is coming from Crew Road and continuing on to Dorsey Drive to merge into that road. In fact, they could almost close that so that if you're coming from Dorsey to turn onto Shedden Road, you have to go through the little mini roundabout that's a little further down. It's a little bit more inconvenient, but then you wouldn't have that turn, and it would just be a straight way. That traffic is horrendous, and I think it'll go a long way if they reconfigure that and utilize that space that they're just occupying with just lines down the middle of the road, and allow for the traffic that's coming from Crew Road, if you're going into Dorsey, to just continue straight down, and those who are turning into McClendon, which is a little lane next to Foster's entrance, and turning into Foster's to be on the left one. That'll go a long way to relieve the traffic that's congested in that whole entire Shedden Road, Dorsey Drive, and Crew Road roundabout, because that's a very busy little roundabout, and if you're ever in it, you'll understand what I'm saying. Just my suggestion.
Got you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. Doc, 1 minute to give you an opportunity for some closing comments, and hopefully we'll see what Friday brings as well. Hopefully we can have you back on.
Well, what I would like to say about Friday is that I understand that we may or may not have the resumption of Emancipation Day. The 1st of August. I am eagerly waiting to see how they are going to do that, and how will it take place. It's been, I think it's 306 or something years now, 368 years. Yes. Since Cayman, along with Jamaica, was taken from the Spaniards, and slavery begun. And slavery was not ended until it came out until 1865. Although emancipation was the 1st of August 1864, slavery was not ended and came out until around about May 1865. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen there. I understand the legislation is before the it's in the works, I should say.
Okay.
In the works to bring that back, and perhaps we could we could talk about that when we come back on Friday.
Okay.
If everything goes well with us, we could start talking about things like that.
Excellent. Okay, and I want to take this opportunity to encourage persons tomorrow, 11th of May. You can watch the debate live on Parliament TV. So if you Google UK Parliament, you can go onto their website and you can see how you can access it. Bear in mind that they're 6 hours ahead of us, so you have to figure all of that out as well. And of course, if you miss that, then the full transcript of the debate will be available 3 hours after the debate on the Commons Hansard as well. So if you log on to UK House of Commons or even the UK Parliament, it will lead you to the House of Commons website as well, and you can get all of the information there. You navigate the website, see exactly what you want. Lots of interesting stuff on there as well. Folks, I want to thank you all for joining us this morning, all of those who participated, all of those who listened as well. We ask you to join Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And JN Money. From abroad to yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Climate resiliency. Visit energy.gov.ky or follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram. And by the STEPS 2023 National Health Survey. Visit gov.ky/steps to learn more. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama.
Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart.